It is a WFAA weather alert day, and you can look at your screen and see why as we are headed southbound on Interstate 35 near the Bush Turnpike in Carrollton today. Tracking storms across North Texas that started earlier this morning, and you can see on the radar in the bottom right of your screen, they are continuing to stick around today. Natalie Haddad is in Tarrant County on the ground there with a look. And Natalie, you are on the roadways as well. And again, it's one of those days you want to be safe and careful.
Absolutely. We are specifically on 820 going east. We are leaving the North Richland Hills area going into Hurst. We had spent some time also in Haltom City. So we've kind of made our way closer to the Dallas area. Eventually we will turn south. But just talking about some of the things we've seen, we've been out here for a while now, several hours, and we have seen the skies go from very, very dark to lightening up because this rain has been pouring like crazy. Other things we have seen because of the rain is puddling on the roadways, not just residential areas, but also on the highways. We see that water splashing up from our tires every so often in areas that kind of dip a little bit lower. Other things we have seen, something just as impressive as this rainfall that we're seeing is also the lightning. We have seen a lot of strikes everywhere, especially as we have made our way from Haltom City into North Richland Hills, now into Hurst, about to hop onto 183. So as if the rain weren't enough reason to stay inside, definitely want to not be outside during the lightning. In fact, meteorologist Mariel Ruiz was kind enough to warn photographer Brandon Davey and I to make sure that we don't stand outside for our live shot like we typically would on weather days, and just focus on being safe inside the car and taking a look at our roadways. So thankfully traffic has not been bad. People are taking precaution, but there is puddling, could make for some slick roadways, and lots of lightning that we are seeing as we make our way a little bit closer to the Dallas side of the Metroplex. Mark?
Natalie, again, stay safe out there. I don't care how good of a driver you may think you are. You got all those other drivers around you. You got to watch out for them with these kinds of conditions. Mariel Ruiz, that's one of those times when you just want to, you don't need to be in a hurry. You don't need to rush to get to your destination. You just want to be safe and arrive in one piece. We've been tracking these storms really all morning long and dumping a lot of rain right now, but are we seeing the severity that we wanted to kind of caution folks about?
Yeah, we are seeing that in some spots. Now, I think the more widespread threat at this point is the flood threat. And Natalie mentioned that. I was actually texting with her not too long ago, making sure that they were inside their cars because of all the lightning. We are still seeing some storms that are capable of producing hail, which is why there is a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 4. And it does include Tarrant, Dallas, Denton, Collin, Rockwall County. I do think that a few of these will be removed from the watch before 4. You just got to keep checking back in with us. As of now, we are still under that severe thunderstorm watch, and we're also under a flood watch. Notice this one just says today. That's because this will be in place through the evening and through at least 10. So we will see several of these counties just stay in that flood watch because of the heavy rain that we're seeing. Now, that heavy rain has already produced over half an inch in many locations, and it's still going. Just keep in mind that our ground is already saturated in a lot of spots, so any additional rain at this point causes issues. Okay, let's go ahead and get you an update on the active warnings that are in place. We have one severe thunderstorm warning that is in place for Collin County. And this one is for a storm that was over Wiley. It did produce some small hail in Wiley and still continues to move towards the north. But notice how that main line is kind of overtaking that. It's actually weakening in terms of severity, but it still has a slight northward track, and that means it'll make it into Anna around 11:25. Down in Dallas County, I am seeing a strong storm moving in, but it is not a warned storm. There is a flood component to it, but I'm not seeing any hail in this one. And also a strong storm in Rockwall County and in Kaufman County. All of this continues down south into areas of Navarro County. And in Navarro County, I do see a small hail core just to the northeast of Currens. What I'm also watching is a flash flood warning. Flash flood warning that's in place for Denton, Johnson, Parker, and Tarrant County. This one until 1:30. And again, it's because heavy rain has already fallen in the area, and it continues as this main line is pushing through. We're still seeing some light to moderate activity behind that main line in Denton, Wise, and in Parker County, Tarrant County as well. So that main line has now pushed into Collin County and Dallas County, as well as Ellis and Hill County. So we'll continue to watch this. It still contains a lot of lightning. I don't have the lightning turned on because it would be a little difficult to see exactly where these storms are. But notice how this main line is overtaking some of this activity up ahead of it. That's what's helping really increase the flood concern. I'm showing you Dallas Love Field right now. You saw lightning strike on the camera, 61 degrees. It's also cool out there, especially considering it's May. It'll stay cool the rest of the day. There are seeing delays at Dallas Love Field and at DFW Airport. So again, if you are traveling today, definitely keep up with those flight times. I'm not surprised that we had those delays because of all of the lightning in the area. It's just not safe for the ground crews to be out in that. So that main line, again, it's pushing from west to east, and it'll continue to do so really for the next several hours. Let me show you the timeline. This is showing you around noon, and you can see that main line right over the Metroplex. It's right over the I-35 corridor counties, including Denton, Tarrant, Dallas, Johnson, and Ellis County. And look at how this progresses. This is between 1 and 2. See how that line looks like it strengthens up a little bit south of here, and I'll touch base on that in a moment. But then it continues to progress east. That's at 3. Look at the Metroplex. Dry by then. Now I'm showing you 4 by then, where you could just see a few little lingering showers in the area, but a bulk of the activity in east and in southeast Texas at that point. I think we could still pick up an additional inch of rainfall before this is all said and done. Isolated 2 along our eastern and southeastern counties. So here's where the severe threat is highest. It's going to be to the southeast of Navarro and Henderson County, just on the south side of that warm front and right ahead of that cold front and that area of low pressure. We'll still see the strong storms in North Texas, but the highest threat is to the southeast, and that is actually where there is a tornado watch in place until 4. So let me show you that. That's including central and southeast Texas. This does not include North Texas, but the severe weather threat, like I said, is highest to our south. Temperature today of 70. That 14-day forecast showing you drier conditions on Wednesday. We could still see a little rain towards the end of the week with high temperatures in the mid-70s. And as of now, it's looking dry for Mother's Day weekend, but keep checking back in because that could also change. Next week looks drier and warmer. All right, today, big weather day. That means it's a big traffic day. Stacia, how are the roads looking?
The roads are looking pretty messy out there. Starting with I-30, we still have this collision involving an 18-wheeler that looked like it was possibly transporting a vehicle that fell off. So this is I-30 eastbound right before the Lake Ray Hubbard Bridge at George Bush. This is a major interchange and only one lane of traffic getting by in this area. Just one of the many problems that we're seeing across the Metroplex right now, of course, because of the weather. It's messy out there. If you are getting ready to go out, if you absolutely have to, give yourself some extra time. So that collision been going on about 30 minutes now. We also have a problem right along I-45 northbound traffic, extremely slow moving as it's trying to head there at Lamar. So let me go ahead and correct myself. The exact location would be 45 southbound at Lamar. Kind of hard to see what's happening with that camera there, but you can see all the red on your map. Once again, 45 southbound at Lamar. An accident there slowing things down. You have another collision, 35E northbound at I-635, slowing things down. One lane is blocked. And then just taking a look at the entire Metroplex in connection with your road map, you can see pretty much anywhere you go, it's wet. I want to go ahead and check a couple more cameras for you really coming down there in Denton County. I have a couple cameras I can show you there, in fact, and we just heard from Tiffany Liu in that area. Here's a look at the I-35E, I-35W split. Looking pretty gross. And then also I-20 Great Southwest Parkway, obviously Tarrant County, extremely wet too. Mark, back to you.
Boy, a lot of red on that map there, Stacia. Thank you for the update this morning.